So let's have a closer look at the hemlock, the eastern hemlock and the balsam fir, both of which have these short blunted needles that are attached individually to the stem, and they're both sort of flat needles in cross section, so they slide between your fingers. Superficially they might look pretty similar, but there are some differences that can help us tell them apart. One of which is the fact that the hemlock needles tend to be shorter and a darker green. Okay, it's not always the case, but they tend to be consistently shorter and darker green. Okay, and we can see these sort of white stripes underneath the hemlock as well. And the balsam fir also is sort of paler underneath, but the pattern is more striking with the hemlock because the needles themselves tend to be really dark green on the top. And so we see these white stripes underneath as well. One thing that can be a great indicator is the presence of these little cones, which tend to really stick around on hemlock, and they're a very small, distinctive kind of spherical, almost cone. Balsam fir cones are a little harder to come by. They grow mostly at the top of the tree, and rather than falling off or having the tree sort of hang on to them in a complete form, they fall apart when they open up. So balsam fir cones are less likely to be hanging on the tree, and you'd never see them hanging like this, kind of at the ends of little twigs. And so look for cones to help you tell whether you're looking at a hemlock or a balsam fir. You can also use your sense of smell. So balsam fir, if you take a few needles and crush them up between your thumb and your forefinger and give them a sniff, it's going to smell like a nice sort of Christmas tree, a nice balsam smell. And the hemlock has a smell, but not as pleasant or distinctive really as the balsam fir. Habitat is another important feature that you can use when you're identifying any tree species. Hemlock is a very shade-tolerant species and tends to be found in older forests, mature forests, an old growth forest, whereas balsam fir is a little bit more of a pioneer species that tends to like a lot of light. It's not completely impossible to grow it in shade, but it is also more likely to be found in full sun, kind of on the edge of a forest as well. Although it's present in the middle of the woods too. So lots of our tree species have wide kind of tolerances in general. But habitat can be sometimes a very useful feature too.